everyone, welcome to Liza's Painting Parties. I'm Liza, and tonight we are doing another weekly free live paint party. This week we are going to recreate this inspiration image. So this was one I think I found on Pinterest from the little icons on the top and bottom there. And I thought it was super cute, so I'm really excited to do our version of this one today. In addition to our regular painting supplies, I would suggest grabbing something that will help create that circle branch, so just to give us a guide. So what I have, and I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet, to be honest, but I have just like a circle Tupperware, that might be okay, or like a pot lid, just for the size, because I'm going to be using that just as like my stencil to get that kind of circular thing going. So before we start, you may want to grab something circular to help later in the process. Once we get to that point too, then we can always like pause a little bit and see if anyone needs to go run and grab that then. That would be the only additional thing that we'll need on top of what we normally use each week. So for anyone new joining me today, hello, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. So the way this works is every week on Saturday, I put three different options, three different choices of paintings up on this Facebook page. And everyone votes to the image that they like the best. So often I do like a theme, or sometimes they're just random. There might be paintings, there might be photos, just random images that I like. And then the one with the most votes is the one that I call the winner the Tuesday after, and then that's the one that we end up painting live on Wednesday evenings. So that's how it works. And so if you are interested, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I don't even know if it's like and subscribe. That's a YouTube thing. You can do that too if you're watching me on YouTube. That's cool. But if you yeah, you can opt in for notifications, so then you can always see when I'm going live. But it's pretty routine at this point, and that's how we do it. All of my previous paintings parties are all available as well on either my Facebook page under the videos tab, and it's also on my YouTube channel, Liza's Painting Parties. All the videos are there. So if you can't join one with me right now live, you can always watch it whenever you so desire. And my approach to this is I walk you through how I would go about recreating this. So the images that we put up and the ones you vote on are all paintings or pictures that I find online. So it's not, I've never painted them before. Sometimes there's been ones that I have put my original items in, but usually I've never painted. So I walk you through how I would approach it. And I do this because it's fun. And also to get you comfortable that even if you're not an artist, even if you don't know where to start, you can just find something that you love and just go for it. Try to do it. And I walk you through how to go about it. So when we start that, I'll walk you through my process on how I'll approach recreating this image. And I encourage you to be creative too. So if you want to change the colors up, if you want to make the owl less cutesy, a few of you were like, this is a bit too cutesy for me, then let's make it an angry owl. Let's change it up entirely. Like, you don't have to do it exactly this way. We can always change it. So don't feel restricted by what you see. This is all about creativity. I also use very cheap paint supplies, and that was predominantly because that's what I had available to me. So anything I create here is done with very cheap quality supplies. So again, making it really accessible that you can also create something really great and not spend a lot of money on things. When I say cheap, I mean like Dollarama supplies. So if you have better ones, they will work way better for you. And the more you invest in those types of things, you can definitely see that the quality helps. But it's not necessary when you're starting. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of you have joined. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi, Jody. Oh, thank you for the support, too. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, Jody. Thank you. I also want to let you guys know that if you want to support me, these are all free videos. If you would like to leave me a tip, there's a link that's called like Buy Me a Coffee. You can go through there. Or you can go to my PayPal and you can leave me a tip through there if you'd like to. You don't have to. And if you would like me to host a private paint party, just message me and we can talk about those options as well. I actually just got laid off today, so now you can all feel bad. No, I'm joking. Don't feel bad. It's all the COVID situation anyways. But if you do want to book me, I am fully available for the next 2 months at least. So hook me up and let me know if you are looking for anyone to host any parties for you in the next little bit. I don't know what just happened, but something made a fancy sound, and I don't know what that was. Oh, someone sent me, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for the stars. That was the sound for stars. Thank you, Fern. Again, I'm not trying to make you feel bad at all, but I'm just saying that I am fully free, so you can definitely do that. And I'm thinking about how else I want to go about what I want to do with this. So this time I'm going to take to really think about what I want to do with this. When I started the Liza's painting parties last year, it was again because I was laid off at that point. And I've really loved the community that we built, and I encourage you to like leave comments. You know, if there's anything that you want to try, anything different, definitely let us know. If something's working really well for you, share it with everyone. And that's the other thing I ask too, is once you're done creating your picture, please take a picture of your painting and share it. I love to see what everyone's done because everyone has their own unique style. I know Valerie's paints with us a lot, and I love how bright and intense a lot of the paintings that Valerie's does are. I know Jody's painted with us before, beautiful work. I know I've seen Bev has been around. I've seen quite a few guys come around, which is fantastic, and I love to see that. And I'm really looking forward to painting this. Teach me clouds. Oh, Jody, I know clouds are interesting. Although I did a painting for a private party. Oh, it's over there. I can't grab it now. But I really liked the way those clouds are. You can do clouds in so many different ways. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. But I'm going to see if I can grab it, and then I'll show you what I mean by that. Hi everyone. I'm looking forward to you painting with me too, Denise. That's awesome. Fantastic. Hi, Lori from Florida. Awesome. Hey, everyone. All right. So without further ado, let me just walk through what the supplies that I'm using today. So like always, I have a canvas board. It's 11 by 14. You can use whatever you want. Again, don't be restricted because I'm using something. You can do it however you want. You just have to readjust if you needed it a little smaller or bigger or whatever you need. I like the canvas boards because this is the 64th painting session we've done, and I have all my other paintings all in a big pile still because I can't paint over them. I can't do it. Besides our canvas, I have my trusty Crafters acrylic paints. So I have blue, red, yellow, I have white, I have black. If you have these 5 colors, then you can make any other color from it. So I always suggest if you're going to buy something, or if you are going to go and invest in something a bit more expensive in terms of paint quality, I would suggest getting at least the primary colors in black and white, and then you can venture off into other types of beautiful variations if you so desire, if you have the budget for it. If you went a bit crazy at Dollarama and splurged and got a bunch of other pre-mixed colors, that's totally cool too. So I do have a pre-mixed pink here, a pre-mixed purple, so I might dip into those a little bit. I'm a little low on my blue, and everything's like fully locked down here, so I still need to do a pickup order from like our Michaels or another art store, but I have not done so yet. I have time now though, so that should be all right. So I might use a bit of my pre-mixed ones just to save me on the blue a bit. But that is the paint. I have water containers because acrylic is water-based. I have my trusty, very, very dirty, which keeps getting dirtier and I kind of love it, palette. I mix my colors and I put the paint on. I have paper towel and my brushes. So for brushes, I recommend having a large brush, a medium brush, and a fine brush. And the numbers that I use, so this is an 11 by 14, so I'm using a size 10, and it's like a flat brush. I'm using a size 2 and also a flat brush, and this is a size 4, but it actually becomes a really thin point when I put some water on it, so I get a really nice thin line on it. Those are the ones that I'm going to be using for today. But again, it's really up to you how you want to approach it, and it depends on your canvas size. So you guys can decide how you want to go about with that. Aw, thank you guys. Oh good, your mother-in-law loves owls. That's fantastic. Well, that'll be really fun. I'm really excited to paint this one. I know it was a little cutesy for some people's tastes. And sometimes I do go a little darker, like some of the options I've had. A couple weeks back, I did some bunny ones. And one of the bunnies that I picked was really like dark and creepy looking. but that one wasn't chosen. So I think our audience prefers a bit cutesier. But yeah, I definitely, I go back and forth. I go to the cutesy phase and the dark phase. My brushes come tomorrow. Awesome, Jody. Mop up some clouds with your video. Perfect. Thank you, Helen. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you love my painting style. I'm trying to make it as straightforward as possible and make you feel empowered with it. So that's really important. Thank you, Cynthia, so much for the stars. I really appreciate it. Very sweet of you. Yeah, great. And if you do like Cynthia, feel free to check out the other videos as well if you're enjoying the way my flow is. And I'll get started just momentarily. I know I usually talk quite a bit, so I'll try to focus on the painting very shortly. All right, and for anyone, so now we have quite a few people watching, which is good. So at the beginning of the broadcast, you might have missed it if you tuned in just slightly later. Before this one, with this beautiful, you can't see that because it's not there. Okay, hold on. For this like curved branch that's on here, I'm going to use some sort of stencil just to make sure I get a nice curve in that C kind of circle wave happening. And so I have a few options. I have like this pot lid that I might use because you know me, I'm crafty like that. So if you want to grab something that is circular, feel free to go grab it before we get started. It won't happen. We won't do that. That'll be the thing we do after we do the background, realistically. But just wanted to get you guys thinking if you had anything. We have like a Tupperware kind of lid. Not Tupperware. Tupperware is too fancy for my blood. It's anchor lid. But yeah. Okay, so we got that going. I'm going to move the camera shortly so we can get this beautiful picture started. Also, I will have the picture available on the iPad as I paint, and I'll move the camera so you can see it a little bit better. But if you prefer, you can always grab, like download the picture of the winning painting from yesterday's post and just have it available to you, and you can reference it yourself because sometimes I might either go too quickly or too slow for your preference, so feel free to do that. You can also rewind this video too, so you can do that too. Cool? All right. I think I need water to start because I am parched now. And then we're going to get started. Okay, so we're going to start first with the background. So on this inspiration image, the background, let me just take a look at it more. There's a weird glare on it. It's kind of gray, but it has some blues. It's like grays and blues that are happening. So I'll just show it up there closely at first. And so what you want to do is on your palette, you want to get a very good amount of white. We're going to need quite a bit of white for this. We're going to need a little bit of black and like a medium amount of blue. I feel like I'm giving you like a recipe like my mom gives recipes when I ask her what her, you know, like her soup that she makes is, and she's like, oh, you know, a little bit of this, and I'm not telling you exact. I'll show you what it looks like on my palette once I put it on there so you have the idea. But we're going to need quite a bit of white to get a good blend going. We can even start by putting a coat of white if you want to. If you have a lot of white and you want to go that route, first we can start that route and then put some streaks of color in. We might actually, you know what, now that I'm saying that, I think that is how I want to approach it. All right, so, hi Christy. Oh, that's such a cute little picture. I love it. All right, so let me start. I'm going to put the paint on there, show you it, and then I'm going to move the camera over so you can see my palette. So when I start painting, you can see everything close. Excuse the noise of my paint containers because this one's a little bit low. So I'm putting like a big globberoonie of white, but like it's pretty significant. And I think I'm gonna have to turn that upside down because it's getting pretty low. Let's get a little bit of blue. The blue that I'm using today is Copenhagen Blue. When you get paint from the dollar store, it's kind of random. So sometimes if you end up getting like a peacock blue or some other ones, it can be very bright or very dark in comparison to maybe what you may want. So this is like a darker blue. I'll show you it in just a moment. I'm just going to put some black on my palette as well. But it really doesn't matter too much because it's just to get the image, the feeling of that blue happening. So that's the blue. That's weird shine. Let me see if I can make that better. Let's see. So there's the blue, there's the black, there's the big old globberoonie of white. Okay? So that's more or less what I'm starting with. The canvas, yes, it's in portrait, so it's vertical. It's upright. Again, it's up to you. You can always change it up. This one would look really nice, too, if you had a square canvas. That would look really nice. Or a circular canvas. I know someone out there, forgot who it was now. I think it was Ashley, if I'm not mistaken. She had some cool, like, circular canvas shapes. That would look kind of neat on that, too. But for our purposes, yes, for vertical is where we're going to go. All right. I'm going to just move this camera, bring it down more, and then I'm going to bring it closer slightly. So I'm going to move things so I don't, my zoom in is a manual zoom in feature where I just move my actual, yeah, things over. That's how fancy I am over here. Okay, maybe more like that. Okay, so there's going to be a bit of a shadow because that's my high-tech technology going on over here. All right, so yeah, let's start with white. Okay, so you're going to use your big brush to get lots of coverage. Let's cover that paintbrush with tons of white, and let's start putting white on your canvas. Now, anyone who's joining right now is like, wow, she's painting white on a white canvas. How creative. But what you're going to do is you're going to work quickly, and you're going to try to get a nice thin layer of white paint on your canvas. And I might, you know what, before I even get to my whole thing, so what we're going to end up doing is, I'm just doing this one section right now because I can't wait to put some color on here. Okay, so I'm going to just do this section for now, like right now. And then what we're going to do is, I'm going to touch it with a little bit of black, and I'm just going to put like little streakies in it. Then I'll get more white paint, and then I'm going to keep going up and down vertically, so then the black paint just blends into the background, and it becomes like light gray streaks. And we're going to do the same thing with the blue, but I'm just going to put more white paint on top because I want to make it look that streaky kind of look that we got going on there. So lots of white. We're going to use lots of white today on this background. White is your friend. White is how we're going to blend it. Now, sometimes I use water to start off so I can get good coverage. What tends to happen when I use water is that it can dilute the paint quite a bit, and you don't get that kind of opaque coverage that I really enjoy. So this time we're going to try this route instead. I'm going to do the same thing now with just like little blue streaks in it. And because there's so much white paint on here, when I mix the blue in, it just kind of dissipates nicely. So try to make sure, I'm noticing I'm not getting all the way down to the bottom of my canvas. And so I just want to call attention for you to check that out as well. These streaks of color should go off the page. It shouldn't just be like in the middle where you can, where the picture is, like it should kind of look like it's just continuing off the actual canvas as well. Putting some more black in. And get some more white to mix it in a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to continue going on. Just want to start showing you how it should start looking to get that streaky look. And then we're just going to continue that forward. Let's get some white on here. I guess alternately you could start by putting on a couple of like black lines and then using white. You know what, let's try that now. Let's do that instead. Let's do a reverse. So now this is just plain canvas. Just put in some like black strokies. I find the black doesn't go on as well when there's no basis on it. Okay, then I'm going to go white paint, and I'm going to go over it with white. Let's see if I like that better or worse than what we did initially. I feel like I have less control this way, so I don't know, but maybe the end result will be nicer. Let's see. And you can decide what works best for you, what you prefer. Because again, there's no wrong way really to do it. There might just be like an easier way or a way that you prefer. I don't know. I think I still prefer to put the white on first. I think it became more gray that way, putting the black on first. Again, I'm not like going off the canvas the way I want to. Put some blue. This is like wet on wet. So it blends in very quickly. And you do want to work pretty quickly because once it starts to dry, it's harder to get this like more natural blend happening. So actually, you know what, doing it in these like sections instead of trying to get the entire canvas, I think this is the better bet now that as we're going through this and seeing it. Sorry. Hi, Linda. Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, so we're just going to keep on trucking. I don't know if that's a saying anymore. I'm feeling like my sayings are definitely aging as we're going on. I'm noticing it more and more. Trying to fight against it a little bit, but trying to stay on like certain social media sites. Trying to stay with the trends that are happening. My son's like 9, so I want to try to stay like in the groove of things so I know what's happening by the time he hits puberty. I'm just going to keep putting like more little streaks of color, blending them in with the white that's already in the background. And I still want to keep some nice solid lines, like where you can be like, oh, that's blue and that's black. That looks nice, I think. Oh, thank you, Lori. Yeah, the sounds in the background are courtesy of YouTube. I love to say that that's actually the sounds I'm hearing right now. Although often, if I have my window open, there are quite a bit of birds chirping, even at this time. Right now, here it's 6:22 my time here. But we have this giant tree in the back, and they tons of birds have been there like crazy the last couple of days. But I've been using a nature soundtrack when I'm doing these painting videos. And I've really been enjoying it. I wanted to use like actual like music, either like jazz or dance would be fantastic or something like that. But there's a lot of copyrights associated with it. And so I feel like this allows at least something in the background, because I do notice that I do get quiet as I'm painting some spots. So at least there's like something going on for a little bit. I've used all my white that I initially poured out. I need to get more white already. That white went quick. Lots of white for this background. Nice. Boom. All right, let's get more white on here. Okay, got some blue going on this side. Oh, that blue went away really fast. I wanted to stay a little bit longer. Okay. So now I'm just going to go back to try to make some strokes a little bit, like standing out a little bit more. Put some darker lines happening. I want it to have more of this like streaky effect. I'm still going to use the white to kind of soften some of the lines. And this area is pretty dry at this point, so I'm not doing wet on wet anymore. It's kind of on wet on like tacky paint. Now just because I'm noticing my lines at the bottom are not matching, like my lines at the top are going right off the page, but at the bottom here it's stopping at the end of the canvas, and I don't like that. I'm just going to do a flip just so I can get some strokes that are going to fly off the ends here, and I think will look a little bit more, I don't know, look better, really? That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. There we go. That's much better already. Okay. So how's everyone going? Is it going well so far? Are you enjoying it? Hopefully so. If you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the comments and I will help as best as I can, or other people can always chime in and give some tips and tricks and best practices. If you have any that are working really well too and you want to share, feel free to do so. Okay, I think I like that. Kathy, hi. Kathy's, we decided that we're cousins because we share, we're both Mendozas, which is fantastic. I love it. Happy to have found you on here, Kathy. Very cool. Lori, where do I live? I'm in Ontario in Canada, so I'm just outside of Toronto. So Toronto, but like half an hour or so. I'm in the suburbs. I grew up in Toronto, but when I wanted to buy a house, the economy said, you're not buying a house in Toronto. So we came out to Ajax. So I'm in Ajax, Ontario. That is where I am. So it's actually really nice. Well, now it's getting cloudy again, but it's been cloudy. It got a little sunny earlier. I decided to get burgers and fries today because I got laid off. I was like, you know what? I need some burgers and fries. I'm trying to be really good on my diet, but I was like, nope, need some burgers and fries. So I would strongly recommend, if anyone's in Ajax, go check out Retro Burger if you haven't already. They have a really good walk-in deal, even though that's not what I got, but you can get 5 burgers for like 20 bucks, and the burgers are delicious. But I really like the Greek burger that they have there. So good, with feta on it. Oh, delicious. Hi, Joe. Oh, for sure. I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. Oh, I'm glad you're loving it, Lori. That's fantastic. Yay. Donna says, I once had a very professional painter tell me she always made one side of her background darker than the other. Just thought I would share this. Interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder why. You made yours more blue? That's great. Do it up, Denise. That's great. That's so cool. I always wonder, like, how the reasons people choose to do certain things, right? Like, if you're going to do that, like, one side darker than the other, I wonder why. Maybe it just causes the eye to move across the painting in a different way or something. Like, that's pretty cool. Cool. So I'm going to let this, I'm pretty happy with my strokes in it. I like that I have some blue going on, I have some gray going on. You'll see too, like whenever I'm doing these like streaks, they're not like fully straight. They're kind of like curved, but I'm digging it. It's almost like a weird kind of like wood grain of some sort. So I'm gonna let this sit. You can come back and see my face for a little bit while I let that sit. There you go. And yeah, so let this sit. So you can, at this point, when you're waiting for this to dry, once you're happy with the way the streaks and strokes look, then what you can do is you can go and find either some kind of circular item, like a Tupperware lid of some sort, or I think I'm probably going to use this pot lid because it will give me a nice handle and I can make a nice stencil for how I want that curve to be. So I'm probably going to use that once it dries. So you can take a look for that if you haven't already. You can always use, like if you have like it's not called a protractor, is it? No, protractor is the other one. I can't remember. But when you get your geometry set in school and how you have that one that you like put the thing in the middle and then you like turn it. That one? Projector? No, that's not it. But yeah, that would work as well. You can make it exactly the size you'd want it to be. Just to give you a guide when we do that. Cool. Jody says she's blow drying hers. Absolutely. If you have a blow dryer, you can definitely do that and make sure it's fully dry before you do the next step. That's completely, that's a great idea. Perfect idea. I love it. So yeah. So again, we're just going to wait for this to dry if anyone else has just joined or whatnot. So we've just put our base coat on. It's basically a heck of a lot of white, streaks of black and white, and like streaks of black and blue. And then you're using the white to like blend it. So on a nice wet on wet to get a blend going. So that's what we've just did. If you missed that, you can always rewind and check it out. Or if you're joining and you didn't get a chance to start, you can always watch this on my YouTube channel, Liza's Painting Parties, or under the videos tab on this site. Compass! Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love it. Aw, thank you, Kathy. You're so sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, and if you would like to send me a tip or something, you can feel free. There's like a Buy Me a Coffee link, which is, I thought was really cute site that they have. Or you can send me a tip through PayPal if you'd like. You don't have to. Or there's stars as well on Facebook, so you could do that too if you'd like to. But if you would like to host your own private party, please reach out to me because I would love to host it with you. And I would pretty much do the same thing that we do here. I can give you a couple of options to choose from. You can pick the one that you would want to do with your group, and then we'll walk through how we'll go about painting that together. Or if there's an image that you really love, we can always talk about that and see how we could get everyone in your group to do that. Yeah, so if you want to do that, feel free to let me know. I would love to do that. So let this sit for a little bit longer. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking protractor. Is it a protractor? Anyways, now you guys are making me second guess. I think because compass doesn't make me think of that unit. It makes me think of like the compass that you like see the directional side of things. That's what I think of. So it like messes with my head. Maybe I should have used a blow dryer. It's definitely taking a bit longer. I think normally, or not normally, in previous paintings, I've used water start to start, and then I put paint to get the strokes going, and the water obviously will dry faster than the paint. So I think that's why I thought maybe it would be a little faster. But once it gets to like a tacky, well, maybe that was a bad idea, a tacky state, then we can move on to the next section. So I like this one a lot. I feel like this is different than a lot of the paintings we've done before because it's almost cartoon-like. And we've only done a few that I found had that cartoon kind of element to it. And so when I say it's cartoon-like, what I mean is I find that anything when it has like, if it's like lined in black, so there's like a lot of like lining and like outlining with the leaves and the flowers and even the owl itself, it gives that cartoony vibe. It makes it all pop really nicely too. But that's different than what we often do. We often, when we're painting together, we're often doing a lot of landscapes, and it's a lot more freeform. So this has a lot more structure to it, which can kind of scare me sometimes, because I do like to, because then it makes, like, if you do make a mistake, I feel like you can see it a lot clearer. But again, we can change that up. So I'm going to try to stick to this kind of structured cartoon kind of vibe. But you can feel free to take this on a more free direction. So if you want to make the flowers look more realistic, if you want to give them those types of elements, you can definitely go about doing that, but I'll talk through how to do it that way, and we can go from there. Oh, I love it. Gianna says, the protractor is like a semicircular plastic ruler that you measure angles with. Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. The compass is the metal pointed instrument that you put a pencil in a clamp on one side. So that's the one we want. It's the compass. But that's the one that I don't associate with the name. I'm like, wait, how is that the same thing as the one that says the directional? That's where my brain is like, those stuff can't be the same thing, but no, same name. English language, crazy. All right, so I think we're gonna wait slightly more, and then we're gonna just get that going, have a little more water while we wait for that to dry off a little bit. And it's Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, which that's super cool. So let's see how that goes. I mean, here in Ontario, it's full on lockdown mode, so it doesn't seem like much is going to be happening. But hopefully where you are, you can at least celebrate or have like some kind of video chats with any mother figures in your life that you would like to celebrate. Or if you are a mother, congratulations, and hope you have a fantastic Mother's Day. Yeah, we'll see how it goes this year. It's always fun. I saw a funny video, I think it was, about what mothers want for Mother's Day, and it was just basically to be like left alone. It was like, just like, let me sleep in, bring me my food, and like leave me alone, and go out for the day, maybe clean the house while I'm in here. That would be really great, and then I'll just stay in bed, and that sounds really great. And I was like, yeah, I could get behind that. It's funny. All right, so still a little too wet. But again, any of you guys who know me know I like to start a little bit earlier than I should. Okay, I think I'm going to get a pencil because I want to use a pencil for my line on that. So one moment while I grab that. Okey-dokey. There we go. Got it. Cool. Oh, cool. I picked up a mixed media extra large book with 60 sheets. That's super cool. Awesome, Lori. So Lori tried the hairdryer. Fantastic. Sorry, trying to make the screen larger. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Sounds good. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, it's been many times when I've been live and I'm waiting for things to dry and someone's always like, use a hairdryer, and I still haven't brought one in the room with me. I'm just like, no, it's fine. We'll just wait. Okay, so, but yeah, we're gonna wait, and then if my pot lid gets paint on it, then I just have to clean it, I suppose, right? So if you have a nice flat surface, this might make your life a little bit easier. But I'm just gonna get my pot lid and decide where I want this to live. And I think I want it to live about here. And I'm gonna get my pencil. I'm gonna drag it along. Oh, that just moved. That's fun. Let's see what happens. There we go. So we have a nice kind of flow to go with. And not too shabby. Perfect. Cool. All right. So I'm not sure if you can really see my line on that. Let's bring it back there because you don't need to see me anymore. So I just made it with a slate line with pencil using my pot lid which honestly I really liked. Having a lid on it was pretty cool to be able to hold the lid and then draw around it, so strongly suggest. Pot lids for the win. Okay, so next up is I want to first start painting in the actual branch. I want to get that in first, and then everything's going to sit on top of that. And then we can also paint some of the vines kind of coming off of that. So with this inspiration image, that line looks to be, I guess you could use black, or you could use a very dark brown. Yes. So I think I'm going to use a very dark brown. Christina says, yep, I break out the hairdryer when I paint live. I refuse to buy a heat gun unless the hairdryer does. Smart. Very smart. Yeah, it's smart. Yeah, I should do that. I say that, and then in a couple of weeks you're going to see me and I'm still not going to do it. But I should. I really should just bring it in here. Okay, so I'm going to use my pre-mixed brown and then mix with a little bit of black paint. This pre-mixed brown is called cinnamon brown. Again, it's not, I haven't chosen that specifically for any particular reason. I'm using a pre-mixed brown because instead of mixing my own brown, which will require me to use my blue, and I'm very low on blue, so I'd rather not go that route. If you need to pre-mix your own brown, you want to use equal parts of red, blue, and yellow, and then that will get you a brown. So that would be the way to go about it. If you have a pre-mixed one, use it. Otherwise, you can just use black, okay? So now I'm going to pick and decide if I'm going to use my thinnest brush. I like my thinnest brush, but sometimes my medium brush gives me better lines. So I'm not sure which one I want to go with first. Now, I'm going to go with my thin brush to start, I think. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of black into my brown. Always add less black than you think, because black is quite powerful. And Christina, when you say when you do your lives, do you host live paint parties as well, or when you paint live with people? Because if you host some paint, like live ones, I'd love to check it out. It's always fun to have people who do this too. Okay, so I'm just going to get like a dark color. It becomes more black after, it's all good. Okay, so I think I'm going to start off up here. Remembering my canvas is still a little damp. I'm just going to follow that line that I already made. And I didn't do a full circle. Like, I only did it like, so it's open right in this area, because we obviously have those leaves. It's not like a full-on wreath. I want this line to be nice and smooth. This thin brush is like, I like it, but I don't like it. Okay, so let's just get around here. Okay, there we go, there we go. Yeah, when I'm doing detailed stuff is when I get quiet, so I need the birds to chime in. All right, and so I want to also kind of venture off and put some additional like little branches. So let's create another branch that's coming off here. It's very thin. There we go. Hopefully that's. And then we have another one that's kind of coming up here. Okay. And then we have another one that kind of comes up, and then there's that flower that lives there. I'll play with that. No way! So cool! Live crafting, that's awesome. That's great, Christina. I will check it out. That's fantastic. I love crafting. I got into doing like cross stitching this past year. So I have like a bunch of like Among Us ornaments and like Pokemon ornaments that I cross stitched for fun. I don't know, I get into like random little binges. So I have, I don't know, like I made like 20 or 30 of them, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Painting is the only one that's kind of like stuck around longer. And then I get into like other things, like I'll make bracelets for a while, and I'm like really into it, and then I'm like, okay, no, I'm done. I don't need this anymore. Okay, now we're gonna make another one, another branch kind of come out this way. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out your page. That's super cool. Okay, so I'll have that one kind of coming down like that. Why not? All right, and I'm going to still continue this line as I go around, and I think I should probably make this line a little thicker, but for now I'm just going to follow it and try to just make it nice and opaque. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight either, although I am trying to keep it with it, but if it has a bit more bends and curves to it, it's actually okay too, because when you look at a branch or any type of nature, it definitely has more personality than just like a straight line. But if you do it in a straight line, it works too, because again, this is very like cartoony, so it can be more stylized that way. So what I'm saying is you do whatever you want to do and it will work out just fine. Cool. I have one kind of coming up this way. And this process of adding more like twigs and, not twigs I guess, but just like little like offshoots from your main curve, you can do it after you put in some of your flowers too, because maybe you want to add a few other things or the little lines, right? So here I'm not going to worry too much because I think that it's going to be mostly covered, but I still want to make it nice and opaque. Okay, this one, yeah, I still want to go thin. Keep this going. Oh, it's quite windy again. It's been really windy the last couple days. We don't usually, I don't know, I don't remember it being or getting as windy as it's been. It's kind of strange. Okay, cool. So we got our curve. Looks cute enough. Oh, amazing. Yeah, sweet. Ooh, amazing. So Kathy says, tip, I bought alcohol markers for drawing and outlining. I used a black on a monarch butterfly and waited for it to dry. I painted the white spots with acrylic and a brownish color from the black. It was absorbed by the white. It was awful. Oh no! That's so frustrating. Oh, shoot. So did it not turn out at all then, Kathy, or did it just not work for that that you tried. Did it work for anything else? Did it give you like a nice outline otherwise? Because that would be great. I do have some like acrylic paint markers, and that could be something to use. I'm tending just to use like this freehand with like, I guess I just tend to do things the hard way. Like, let's just wait for the paint to dry naturally and let's just freehand everything, as opposed to like using other tools to make things easier. But I'm curious if that worked in a different way. Ah, that's sweet. Oh, cool. So Christina's doing a live craft tomorrow night, pizza pan crafting. That sounds so fun. So cool. And the pan lid, I also love the tip on paint mixing. Oh, great. And make red. No, you cannot with red. So red's a primary color, so you gotta just have red. So red, blue, and yellow, those three colors. If you have those three colors, you can make any other color. So just have red, blue, and green. Oh my god. No. Red, blue, and yellow, black and white, and then you can mix other colors. But no, you can't, unfortunately, mix red. I think you'd have to like crush some plants or something to get some red paint. Alright, let's put in like another little curly, cutie branch over here for funsies. Yeah, another painter joins us sometimes. Her name, oh my gosh, my brain just went, no, Bonnie Rose. She does live paintings as well. Like, I had a blank for a second, but then it came back strong, which was good. And she does lives and does painting videos too. And she's pretty great. She's based out of San Francisco, and she's joined us live here a few times. And I think she does, I don't know if she does it every week. I think she does it every week. Live as well. On Facebook as well. There's so many crafty people. Another artist who I absolutely love is the Art Sherpa. Her paint, like, I love her paintings. And I've done a few of them without realizing they're originally hers. So as I mentioned, when I do some searches, I just do searches for like cool paintings that I like, or I look on Pinterest. And there's been a few times where I've seen some really nice ones, and I look, and it's actually been her paintings. And she does beautiful, bright, vibrant paintings that have really like either quirky themes. She had like a series on, like, it was an astrological series, and they're all like, I think they're called astro-gnomes. I think that's what I saw. And so she made like gnomes, but by each astrological sign. Super, super creative. And like, I wish, like, that's what I strive for, to be half as creative, to come up with those ideas. Like, I was like, that is so cool. You just combine two things. Not like a super crazy fan of gnomes, to be honest. Like, it's not like my thing, but super, super cute. But I do love astrology, and I was like, what a smart thing to do. So definitely check her out. She has lots of free beginner videos on her site, and intermediate, and she has watercolors too. Like, she's been doing this for a very long time. Okay, so I think those are kind of the same lines we have on our inspiration image. So I'm pretty happy with that for now. And I'm just going to take a look back to see if I want to touch anything up before I move on to the next part. And I want to touch it up a little bit here. I don't like those lines. And I want to make this a little bit thicker. Okey-dokes. Oh, and that one too, I think. So once it dries, sometimes you can see that it's not like fully opaque, and I can see some of the canvas coming through, and I don't particularly like that. So I'm just going to touch it up a little. Okay, cool. Coolio. Oh, did you, Kathy? That's awesome. I'm pretty sure I saw, again, that image, and I didn't know it was hers, but I'm not surprised. It's like the one, wait, Hocus Pocus. Is that with the three witches? I think so, right? Like the Sanderson sisters? Or am I getting mixed up? So I saw a really cool one that was like that with their like backs, and it looked really cool. Maybe it's a different one. All right, so I have this flow happening. And so the next thing I think I want to do is, I'm just looking at it. Okay, so I think at this point you can kind of pick what you would prefer to paint next. Just looking, because I'm looking at, initially I was going to say the next thing we'll do is like the background, like green leaves. But now I'm thinking that I want to place my flowers first, and then we can paint the rest of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do first. So I think I'm going to place these lighter pink flowers first. And so the way we're going to get pink is we're going to mix white and red. Unless you have a pre-mixed pink and you like that, you can use that too. But you still probably want to lighten it with white paint. Yeah, looking at their backs. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, perfect. The scary part now, flowers. Oh, Joe. Yeah. So, okay, so these are very cartoon-like. So let's keep that in mind, right? So it's not going to be hard. What we're going to do is, for these ones, we can literally start with just using white paint or a very light pale pink to start. And we're going to be putting in these, like, as if we're going to like draw them, essentially. It's going to be flat, light color. And then we're going to go in with a darker color after to get the center to be a little bit brighter, and then we'll add the detail afterwards. So we're just going to get the color on, and it's not going to look that great until the end when we actually outline with black. That's when it's really going to pop. So at this point, don't stress, okay? So let's see. So first decide what color you want to go with. I do want to make mine a bit of a, I still want it to be like very light pink. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to my palette. This red is called Bright Red. I've also in past used Christmas Red, which is like a little darker than this, but anyways, you can use whatever you want to. Okay, just going to mix a little bit into white. Not going to worry too much. I'm going to use one of my thinner brushes, but not my most fine point, but one of my thinner ones. Okay, so I want like good amount of paint on this brush. Okay, still trying to mix the color I want. I think I went a little bit too dark, but no, it's good. It's good. Okay, let's just go with it. So this one has like 6 petals. It doesn't really matter if yours has 6 petals. You can change it up. And so I'm just going to start off by kind of creating the shape that I want. Because I want it to be nice and circular. Circular? I don't know, rounded? Rounded's a better word. Let's go with rounded. Okie dokes. Okay, and then we're going to pop another petal. Pop it. Like here, maybe. Okay. Already one petal is slightly different color than the other one. That's what happens when I mix my paint like this. I'm going to put another one like here. And if you need to move your canvas, do it. So I'm going to keep it like this so you can see. But feel free to turn your canvas upside down, sideways, whatever you feel like gives you better control to paint the petals. I know for me, sometimes I forget to do things like that. I feel like I'm stuck with the way I'm painting, and I'm like, wait a second. Which is why I say so. For some people, it comes naturally. Just be like, obviously, I can move this. But I know for me, it doesn't. So I'm sure there's some of you guys out there, too, that are like, oh, yeah. Just to remind you. If you like this kind of like cartoon style, there is a painting that we did on our site quite a while ago. I'm going to guess that we did it maybe in June of last year. It could be, but it was called, I think it was called like Proud Peacock or something. And it was a peacock, surprise, surprise. And yeah, it looks deceptively easy. It was very fun to do, and it wasn't like super hard, but it took way longer than I thought it was going to. I think that paint party was like close to 3 hours, if not longer. But it was a really fun piece to do, but it just was very, again, kind of like this, like, a bit more detailed. So you have to take a lot more time to get like solid lines, and there's a lot of outlining going on. But if you like this one, if you're enjoying this process, like as we're going through it, then you'll enjoy it. If you're doing this and you're like, the other one. Dab the middle, even though it's maybe a different color after, but it's fine. Okay, cool. I feel like that pink is a little bit lighter than the one that's there. Okay, so now I think I'm going to add a bit more red into the color I just mixed. Not sure how much I like that. And then I'm just going to put just put a little bit of darker, kind of coming from the middle part here. Okay, I kind of went a little bit too high there, so I'm just going to tone that down. Sorry, went a bit too high. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I just put a little bit like that, so it's just a little bit darker in the middle. And then again, once we put in the outlines, it's going to pop more. That petal looks really weird to me, so I'm just going to fix it up a little bit too. I feel like maybe I need this one to come out a little bit more. Yeah, that's already a little better. Bring that out a little bit more too. Cool. Oh, nice, Kathy. That's cool that you tried a peacock with them. That's awesome. Yeah, I found it really fun, but I remember that was one of the first paint parties that I did that I thought, oh my, like this is taking way longer than I thought it was going to. because I really did think that it was going to be simple. Like I was like, okay, it's not going to take very long. It's pretty straightforward. Like it's all just similar colors, like no big deal. And I was like, yeah, very mistaken at how long it took. Again, still not difficult, but way longer than I thought it was going to. Okay, let's put a flower up here too. Let's get a nice petal going. I just want to make sure it's nicely covered everything. Good. That's a nice big leaf. It does, right? So once you put that darker center in, it definitely makes it pop more. Makes it look three-dimensional. Absolutely, Kathy. My white is drying out quite a bit, so I just put a little bit of water to get it refreshed slightly. This flower looks like it only has 5 petals, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Just do what you like. I'm going to try to stick with that, but we'll see. All right. No way, Kathy. That's so cool. Is that what you do, Kathy? Do you like paint along and then you sell them? That's super cool. Maybe that's what I should do with like my 60 paintings I have in my closet. I'm like, oh, maybe I should try selling them. I always felt weird doing it because even though I've painted it, I was like, oh, that wasn't my like original idea. Like I get very weird about like trying to sell it, which is why I didn't really charge money for these courses either, because I'm like, well, it's someone else's like original concept, so I don't feel right doing that. So that's why I decided to offer doing like private paint parties, because then at least if you are interested in doing that with me, it's more about my technique and how I approach things versus trying to say, okay, let's do this particular image. Because if we just do a random image where I say, okay, well, like this is what we have for offer, again, it's not what I've originally come up with. So again, it's more the experience and how I instruct. I always felt weird about that. Okay, so let's put another one like there. Okay, I think that to be a little bit more opaque. Okay. Let's create another one here then. Cool. Awesome. Nice and big. That's so cool. Oh, no way. That's so cool, Kathy. Teach them, but not online. Interesting. That's very cool. Okay. All right, so what is next? We need to add a little bit of darkness. Saying that sounds funny. We're going to add some darkness in the center of the flower. But that is what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to put in a few little lines in here. A little bit darker. I don't know if I like that one as much, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a bit more of a blend. I think I am. Let's just get some other this paint. Let's just put a little bit more. I'm going to blend it out a little bit because I feel like it's too much of a harsh transition. Yeah, I think that's a little better. I feel like that's just a little bit of a too harsh of a transition from the one to the other. So I'm just going to show that a little closer. So I just made it a little bit softer and I put a little bit of white so I see that too. So now I'll make the other ones a bit darker. That has, that's all right. Lovely, Linda Marie. Oh, thank you so much. That's really sweet. Yeah. Definitely try. It's definitely fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, dokie. So now I want to do some of these other flowers, but they are more. I need more color. More red into my white to give me a darker pink happening. And again, if you like pink, go for it. If you wanted to make them a different color, you can go for it. You can make them all different colors. Make this like a rainbow wreath. That'd be beautiful. Okay, so this is the other flower here. So I'm gonna go up. And this pink is just darker than my other one. I might still darken it more. I'm not sure yet, but okay, so I was gonna keep going with this guy. Okay. So I thought that was going to be too light, but I think that's a good color. This might only be a 5-petal flower now that I'm looking at it. There we go. So that's cute. Aw, thanks, Helene. Yeah, this one's so pretty and cute. It's very nice and relaxing to do this one. Okay, so now I'm going to paint the other one. Maybe I'll come back and do the dark. Maybe I'll do, I don't know. Okay, no, I want to paint the other flower first. And then I'll come back and put in some of the shadow in the middle. This one's a little one. Wee. 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 No, a little bit. Cool. The color is actually a little bit and this one kind of holds this other flower here. One petal going here. There we go. So got another one up there. Pretty cute. Pretty cute. Okay. And then we want to get some little shadowies happening. I don't know, but this guy. And then you put pure red to get some shadows happening on this one. I'll do it here too. And I'm probably going to have to blend it a bit. I'm a little rogue. Okay, let's go a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of lighter color in here too. Oop, that I don't like. So I'm just putting a little bit lighter kind of highlight around the edge, and then I'm just bringing it into the red so that it blends a little bit. Yep, I think that's going good. Okay, Oh, hi, Helen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that you love them. I love doing them, so if you guys enjoy them, that's the important part for me. Okay, so now we got the 5 flowers on there. And again, it's your painting, so if you want to add more to it, go for it. Now, I'm absolutely not going to do the outline until the end because I still want to get this like cute little owl in the background, and we're going to need to put some colors in, and that's going to mess up some of our lines. And so it will, once we do that outline later, that's going to clean things up nicely. There's a few more things with the flower that I'd like to do, but I think I might wait as well until everything dries because I want to get the little dots in the middle. And again, I might even do that after I do the outline, potentially, because I kind of want to get a black center, and then maybe I'll put like little dots of white or yellow or something. So that might be like later. So the next thing that I'd like to do is we can start putting in some of the leaves. So I want to start putting in some of the like the bright green leaves behind the flowers, and then I want to put in the dark green leaves after that. So this bright green you can use with, like, if you want to mix green, you want to mix blue and yellow, and you get a nice green, and then you can make it a little bit lighter. So if you want to go one route, I'd probably, you can either, if you lighten it with yellow, then you'll get more of like a yellow green, and if you lighten it with white, it's going to just, it's gonna look quite different. But I think I'm gonna go with like green that's lightened with white for these ones, because it is going to stand out more. And then I'm going to have a darker green, so I might mix it either with a little bit of black, or I might put a bit more blue into my green mix, and that will come out that way. But I've said a lot of words about colors. So let's just go with starting this process. So I do have some pre-mixed green as well, so I think I'm going to go with that first because, again, I'm pretty low on my blue. And I'm going to stick with, which brush was this the one that I was using? I think so. Was it this one? Dun, dun, dun. No, that one was my thin brush. Okay, I think it was this one. All right, we'll continue with that, I guess. Okay, so I want to put some white. Maybe I'll put green into my white, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So it's not going to be as, like, that green that's on there is kind of like, I don't know, it's very bright, almost turquoisey. It's not going to be exactly like that, but it'll be nice and bright and light. So we have one leaf that's coming here. So I'm just gonna, as if I'm coloring, like a coloring book. So I'm just gonna stay in the lines, not get it on the pink that I already painted. But I'm just going to create this nice little leaf shape. Like that, just underneath there. Oh, I love it, Pamela. That's so great. Pamela says that it reminds her of her Oktoberfest headbands of flowers. That sounds so pretty. I want a headband of flowers. That's a great idea. It's so pretty. And this one kind of comes out this way. Do, 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 do. Cute. Okay, let's continue with the green. This brush I'm using is very precise, but it's very annoying. Okay. So this one, coming behind this guy here. I'm coming around this guy here. There we go. Another little leaf popping out over there. Okay. And then this one, there's like one that's kind of coming. Here, sticking straight up. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay. I'm gonna get another one on this side. Cool. Minty green leaves. Oh, so cool. Pamela says she makes the flower headbands with artificial flowers on a headband. That is a great idea. Yeah, this might be a project I'm going to do for myself. Now that I'm off work, might as well make some headbands feel pretty at home. Okay, so I think this one's coming from behind here, so I'm just going to put some green in this area here. Cool. And then we have another one like here, so let's just bring it out like a little point. Like that, and then fill that part in. Just do a little thing like that. Okay. That's gonna come out. And then up here, another one coming out of the side. There we go. Alright, let's keep these nice minty green leaves popping. Come up here. One that's kind of curving down. Perfection. And we have one that kind of comes up. Okay. I think I have one more. No, yeah, one more. According to our inspiration image. For these minty leaves. All right. Kinda cool. Oh, thanks, Jen. I'm glad that Tatiana says that it looks awesome and beautiful. Hi, Tatiana. That's sweet. Right, Helene? Actually, when I saw that Helen she wrote right after you, and I had to look at the picture to see like if it was the same profile, maybe like the name had changed on it. So you guys, yeah, almost twin names. I love it. Super cool. I never knew anyone that had the same name as me, because my name is just Liza, like Liza. And a lot of people would say that usually it's pronounced Liza, but the pronunciation that I was given was Liza. And I never encountered anyone with either the same pronunciation or the same spelling as me. And if I had, they had it came from like Elizabeth or something longer. And until recently, and then one of a girl that worked for me, and then her name was also Liza, which was kind of cool. But I've seen my name pop on different places now more. Like I've seen, there's like a realtor, I think, like north of Toronto, and I think it's called like Liza Homes or something, and I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Anyone with common names is like, that's not exciting. But for anyone with an uncommon name, I don't know, for me, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then I also felt kind of like, oh, like now people have my name. Like I was a little annoyed by it. Like I had accepted it was very unique. And then now that I'm seeing it places, I'm like, oh, I guess it's not so unique anymore. Anyways, that's my random ramblings. All right, I'm going to mix a little bit of black. Well, it makes everything black into my green so I can get a bit darker going. Yeah, it's like gray now. Okay, okay. Chill out. Chill out. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So again, with the black, when you're adding black to darken something, you want to use way less than you think, because the black will take over and then everything will become black, and that's not. Ah, that's funny. So cool. You guys are going to be like, get to know each other. I love it. Okay, let's put in some of the darker green, like vine leaves. So this is going to be a little blop up here. And make it come this way like that. And then we're going to put another little one right here. And another one like here, perhaps. And another one like here. And they don't have to look the same or be the same. They can kind of have their own little personalities. Some can be a little bigger, some can be a little smaller. It's all good. those are pretty cute. And this one's going to have one too. Another little bit that's going to come here. Okay, and on this side, we're going to put another one. I have more of a leaf shape on this side. Like that. Oh, how pretty are you? Sometimes the shapes are very exciting. Okay, I got that one. I think I'm going to put one in this side instead of on the other side. Like that. I think. That's so cute. I love it. Okay. Ooh, and I'm noticing I didn't make a little vine coming this way. Okay, well I'm going to put a leaf in here. And then I'll have to connect it with, not a vine, but a branch. Ooh. There. There we go. And do it like that, and then we'll connect it up with a little thing afterwards. Okay, now I think I have another one down here, like in the image. Ooh. Also, I like to put my hand in wet paint. Cool. Okay, and then I'm just going to make a leaf here because I went a little excessive with that branch. Cute. This one's gonna come this way. All right. Do 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 do. Okay. Okay, and then we'll have one here. Sounds good. Okay, and then I need to go on the side Okay, and then we want one more here. And then let's put some more here. Actually, I don't like the way that brush is looking. Okay, dokes. That looks very nice. So cute, I love it. Let me think what else I need. I think I want to put like one in here. I think I feel like the way the shape was, I feel like that was missing in there. Just gonna take another look or two and see if I want to add any more. I think I do want to put one like one here. I'm gonna add a few. Oof. Okay, and I just wanted to put that stem in. I'll touch up this tip, I think. Okay, and then I want to go back and paint that stem. Thank you, Bev. Yeah, it does look very cute. It's very happy. It's very happy painting. So nice. Add the stem there for this guy. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so the remaining elements are the owl, obviously. There's like little dots that look very cute, that look like they're just like little like beads or something that are hanging from this wreath, which looks so pretty. So that, the centers of the flower, and the outline on most of the elements of this picture. So I think we're gonna start on the owl. I think. All right. So it's 7:44, so it's already almost approaching 2 hours that we've been working on it. So this is definitely one that's going to take longer. Like it might approach 3 hours potentially, just because we haven't touched the owl yet, and doing all the outline will take time. So let's pop the owl in, check the time, and then decide how we want to approach it at that point. So with our owl, let's think, how should we approach that first? So we could pencil in, maybe just draw in where we want it to live. Normally that's not my approach. Normally I just go right in with paint. But I think, again, this is bringing me a little bit different places in my painting and placement journey that I think I will draw him in, basically. Because with the pencil, anyways, I have more control over it, and we can cover it fully with paint if it doesn't work the way we want it to work, right? So, okay, so we're going to look at this guy. So this guy's going to be about, like, he's going to be about the size of that flower. His little nose. So I think that's going to be the main thing. So let's pop those in first. So I'm going to start off by saying, okay, like where, and then I'm going to draw around based on where those eyes and the nose land. That's how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do the nose. Can I do the nose first? I kind of want to. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to draw like a little upside down teardrop to give me my center point where I want him to live. And then okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as best as I possibly can. And yes, I hold my pencil weird, so if anyone's looking at that, it's not going to change. It's almost 40 years, so that's what's happening. Okay, so I got my, you can't see anything. Oh, you can kind of see it. Okay, that's good. That's good. I was like, oh no. Okay, I think I cover a bit when I'm here. Okay, so then in the middle, there's a bit of a line. And we're probably going to paint over most of this anyways, but this is just to give us a good guide, right? And then it's going to come up and around. And then it comes down like that. Okay, let's do the other side. And it comes up and around, up. There-ish. And his face, so then it's going to come a little bit lower. And it's gonna, mine might be a little chubbier. I kind of do want to make him a little chubbier. So that's kind of where that's going to live. And then now I'm going to say, okay, so like where's his body being? So here. Mine looks chubby. Okay. And then the middle belly part. I might have to make his beak a little bigger. We can always do that as we build that out more. There's his beak, so it'll be a little bigger. Something like that. I can show him closer, but mine's definitely chubby. A little chubby owl. Okay. And then he has his head. So that kind of goes like this. Probably slender him down a little bit. Or not. I don't know yet. I think I'm kind of digging this. Okay. So I'll just show it a little closer to show what I drew with my pencil to kind of get that owl in place to give me a guide. So that's where this guy's going to live. Okay. Cool. Now, let's get some purple. So again, I'm going to use some of my pre-mixed purple because I'm very low on my blue. But if you have the primary colors, you can mix red and blue together and you can get purple. And you can play a little bit with it if you want. If you like it a little bit more on the red side or the purple side, it will change the purple. So that'll look really cool. You can play with that, and that's always fun to do. Okay, so I think I want to use, I haven't used my medium brush at all today. I think I'm still going to go with my thin brush though. It's giving me good control, so I'm going to continue with that. Okay, I'm going to just start with my darkest purple. And just as if I'm coloring in a coloring book, I'm just going to color this section. Top of his head. I'm going to give him dark purple. Okay, and we'll fix that up when we get some other colors going. And then we also have dark purple, like the sides of our owl, and then we'll have more details afterwards. But I'm going to still get this color in here. Basically this section with my thin brush will be dark purple. Okay, and like obviously there's more to it than that, but I'm just going to fill it in for now, and then we'll add some detail and other elements afterwards. Jokes. Okay, so we have the darker areas. The pencil is, so the pencil I have, I grabbed the first pencil I had, so I would have used any pencil. But this particular pencil I grabbed is a 4B. I didn't do it on purpose, but a 4B is a softer lead, so it's a lot easier to draw. If any pencil has like an H in it, that usually means the lead is harder. And anyone with a B, so 4B or like anything that's like 2B and 3B, and there's all like different drawing pencils on, they're a lot softer, so it definitely went on easier. So that's what you noticed probably when I was drawing, that it just was, the lead smoothly went on my canvas essentially. That was because the lead is softer. If you have like just an HB, it is a little bit, but I didn't do it intentionally. I would have done with an HB, but then it wouldn't have been as easy. It's just what I grabbed first. Although it did work for my benefit, which was kind of nice. How to start in drawing the owl. So what I would suggest in drawing the owl is look for shapes. So the first thing that I notice on the owl is you have the two eyes and you have his little beak. So the beak looks like an upside down teardrop. And so for me, I started first by drawing the beak just to give me a center point. And so then I could figure out how big I wanted his eyes to be, because the eyes are actually pretty close together if you look at them, and they're the same kind of round size. So once I put the beak in as my starting point, so the upside down teardrop shape, then you can add the eyes, and they need to be close enough, right? And again, when we paint, we can always make them a little bigger, a bit smaller, depending on, you know, how you like your drawing and how it's going. And then from there, once you have that as your base, like your two eyes and your beak, then you want to put in the outline, the kind of like the hair kind of that comes around the top part of like his eyebrows, I suppose. That's what I'm going to call them. So it's very close. The line starts, it's like, it basically divides the eyes right in the center, right? Like has the two eyes, it divides them. So the line goes straight in the center, and then it stays close, and then it kind of shoots upwards. So it stays close to the curve of the eye, and then it shoots upwards. And then once you have that, then you can kind of bring it down. But again, we're going to be playing with this when we get some of our paint on and giving it more of like, you know, a wispier hair feel to it, right? And then you bring it down. And then once you have that part, then you can just make the curve for like around the eyes. Again, that will look different because we're going to end up putting more of the hair around there. But then you just want to have the curve, which will end up curving around to where the beak is. And that's why I ended up making my beak a little bigger because mine was a little too small. And then once you have that head piece on, then you can just curve out the body, decide how big you want the body. And for the body, I made mine a little bit too fat because my fat little body is like further away than the face. But in the inspiration image, you'll see that the body should actually be a little bit more slender than the eyes, right? And then you just kind of curve out where the tummy would be. I don't know if it's the tummy, but the middle different colored part there. And then you just do the top part of the head, and then you're good to go. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully that helped in talking through it. It is tricky to say it like that. I know. That's why this is a time when I wish I could like be there and like help in person so we could actually like do it together. Or had a better camera so I could show it more clearer. Okay, so what I did was I used dark purple just to get all the darker areas, and I want to mix a little bit of white into my purple to get it a little lighter. Get a light purple happening. Okay, do I like that one? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, let's start. Oh my gosh, it's almost a pink. Oh, that's what we're going to use. So I'm just going to color in the middle part. And then just outline around like my flowers and stuff. And then just color in this section. Get that middle part of the owl there. Oh, good. I'm glad, Lori. Okay. And then I think that same color kind of goes around the eyes as well, and then it gets a little bit lighter around the top. So let's just start popping that in too. So this color, I think I'm going to make the eyes a little bigger too, maybe. And we're going to have the differentiator when we put the black on here to outline everything. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just have it come down a little bit. So a little chubby. He's so cute. Okay. And then I'm just going to make it lighter in white. Up here. So I want to bring this up. Okay, and then this lighter color is going to go around the eye. I feel like it needs even more white, to be honest, but I'm just putting a little, like, messing up those lines a little bit because I want to give them, okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Aubrey. That's so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Kathy, you're back. I'm so glad. When I looked, actually, when I heard a little like twinkle, I think it's because Aubrey sent the stars. But it was when the first thing I saw was I'm back, and I was like, oh, how did Kathy make that sound to say that she came back? So like, that's pretty cool. All right, Helene, have a good night. Yeah, this was definitely a long one. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm so happy. All right, so we have this little guy. I don't know if I should show you a bit closer what I'm doing. So yeah, so he's a little chubby guy. He's got his darker on the side. He's a bit lighter on the inside. I might still put a little bit more. Right now I just want to put like the main colors, and I want to maybe play a little bit with it as it goes. We still have a little bit of like, there's some like other feathers happening on top of here, which I do want to put in. Maybe I'll do that now. Okay, let's see, let's see. Let's see. All right, so let's go and put in a few. How do I want these to be? Maybe I need to go from the bottom up and see. This way, yeah, maybe that's better. More control with my brush that way. There we go. Maybe I need that last one, I suppose, but okay. That works, and then we can put some, like, when we outline it again. Just to get more feathers happening. Okay, cute. All right, now I want to get a little bit lighter, so I want to put a little bit of like white lines, kind of in this area because I want it to look more like there's feathers happening and not just like a big blob of purple. So that's what I want to do, and I'm going to do the same thing up here too. Don't go away, picture. I need you. And put like little lines. And this has to go all the way up. This has to go all the way up. Perfect. Okay. Put a little bit more white happening. Okay, and then I want to get more of that purple. And just put a few, oof, that's a little bit too light. Still want it dark, please. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of texture into this purple that I already created or filled in before, just to make it look a little bit more like feathers. Oop. Now it's too dark. Can't win sometimes. Even his head, I think. Okay, and let's get some white, and let's do the same up here. So I'm just going to do like little touches of color to get a little bit more. You know what? I really want to do like I want to paint like a colorful owl. Like maybe like a big painting, but like a really colorful, like with a bunch of like unnatural, well, I guess purple is not really a very natural color for an owl, but I kind of want to do like a, maybe that would be kind of fun for a paint party. Let's see if I can find a picture of like an actual owl, and then we can like make it our own by like adding different colors and make it one of those like colorful animal pictures. I think that'd be cool. I'm just going to try and add a bit more white to the top here because I feel like the original image has more white happening at the top. And I think mine got more purple as I added it. Okay, so I do those eyes. Okay. Cool. Oh. All right. Now let's get some blue. Get these blue owl eyes in place. Gonna fill it in all blue, and then we'll put the black for the middle part afterwards. Just trying to get a nice even line around. All right, now let's do the other side. Cool. Little cool blue eyes. Ooh, Gina, great tip. Or Gianna. Gina? I think it's Gina. Gina. So the fan-shaped brush works well for feathering. That's a great tip. So while those big blues dry a little bit, I am going to paint the little nose, beak is what I meant to say. So I just put a little bit of yellow close to my red, and I'm going to mix myself a bit of an orangey yellow color. The owl nose. No, the beak. Let's use that correctly. Okay. So again, let's do like a little, just as if I'm coloring in. Okay. And then with this, it's easier if I go to the tip and go inward. Okay. There we go. He's looking pretty dandy. Okay. So I'm going to go with my black. Now the eyes are definitely not dry yet, but black will overtake everything. So I'm not concerned about adding it right now. So I'm just going to put in the black center. Okay. This one side. Okay. Ah, interesting. So it is Gina. That's very cool. I like the spelling of it. That's neat. All right. So, okay. So I think I might play a little bit more with my black paint, and I'm going to start doing some outlining. We still are missing on the eye like a white dot to really make the eyes pop, and when we put that white dot in, it's going to come alive really nicely. And I'm going to start doing some outlining of my little chubby owl that I've created, because he's just too cute. Okay, so I'm going to use my nice thin brush, get some nice black paint on it, make sure the paint that has been sitting there for a while, I'm just putting a little bit of water in it just to like make it come alive again. Okay, now this is where I get a little scared when I start doing the outlining. But it's also when I get really excited, because then everything comes alive and it looks so cool. But I'm always terrified that I'm going to like mess things up with the black line. This is when you can always use, if you have paint markers, you could do that instead of doing this. It's up to you. Or you could use like Sharpies too. Now I need it around my nose. There you go. Still need some more water in my black. Oh, it's so dry. Okay, I'm just going to put little lines to show where the feathers There we go. Okay. So now that I'm starting to outline this guy, he's starting to pop really nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to continue this outline process. I do want to put an outline around the blue as well. Blue eyes. The brush likes to split exactly when I start feeling comfortable that it's doing a great job. Okay, and then this little owl has little like eyelashes. Super cute. What? So cute. Once you put that little like white sparkle in the eye, it's gonna look so adorable. Okay, I'm just gonna put some feathers. Outline these. And I'm going to outline the belly shape. Outline the belly shape here, and then put these feathers. Cool. And I'm just going to outline here too. Cute. So cute. And I'm going to continue the outlining party because now I'm in a flow. I'm going to go to this flower and we're going to do an outline around here. And then we also have a little bit of black line just to emphasize the middle of this flower. Boop-a-doo-boop-boop-boo. Like that. And then I know there's like, I'm going to put like little white dots in here too. I'm just going to start putting a little bit of black in there. How cute! Alright, and then we have this leaf. And then it's going to come out. Ooh, that tip looks weird. Okay, well, I guess that's how it's going. Okay, and then we have a little bit of a line like that. Middle part of that, and then let's do this flower. Whew, this black line sometimes gets a little thicker than I want it, but I'm going to roll with it. Bah. Bah. Okay. So again, let's put the little lines in the middle and then just dot the middle a bit. Cutie, cute, cute. Okay, and then all these minty green leaves have an outline. Come back. All right. Awesome. And as soon as you put the black on here, it's so cute. Like it just pops so nicely. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, and then Nice. Pretty good. Oh, this line definitely looks like it's stopped, so I just need to blend that in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, and this one. Okay. And this flower. Ooh. I don't really hold my breath when I'm holding my breath when I'm doing some of these outlines. Okay, so I'm just gonna go up. Black dots in the center. Yeah, yeah. Cool. So there we go. Now what else gets some outlines? I guess you could even more outlines realistically, but I think I'm going to continue doing like that one and that one. And then I want to do those little like beads hanging. And some of the leaves have a bit of a line, have a bit of like a shadow, and that look kind of cool. So it's not like a full outline on those like background leaves, but there's still a bit of some darkness on them that make them look really cool. So let's do this one here. Let's go around and around. Okay, and this guy here. Sleeves. Ooh. Okay, run that out. Run that out and out. Cool. Alright. And I'll put some little lines in here. In the center a bit. Cool. That is nice and pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. So I am gonna put a little bit of these lines on some of these background, some of these leaves. I'm just putting it on one side just to kind of like the underside of them. So it's like almost like a shadow. It's almost like a, well, it is a shadow side. And some of these have a bit of a white line on the other side where it has, so it looks like there's a highlight on some of them. I think I might do that as well. Okay. And these have a little bit too. Okay, so I just want to touch a bit of that green because I just messed it up a little bit. But some of this was, my brush head was not my friend, and it kind of touched it up a little bit messy, and I don't like that. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. Okay. Ah! It's like the wrong green. Trying to fix one problem, then I create another one. Alright. This one's still very dark though. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Alright, so I'll just show that. So now that's with the outline. And then you'll see I put a little, like a black line on one side of my leaves, just to give it a bit of a shadow on that. Okay. And some, so like there's a few that have a little bit of like a lighter kind of green, it looks like. I'm going to mix my lighter green again and just put like a little line in some of these. So like I think some of these have a little bit of like a line in them. I like that. That's cute. It's better after a little while. Thank you, John. Alright, so I'm going to pop that little dot in the eye, but I'm going to change this brush because even though that's a really thin brush, the bristles like to just spread out, and I feel like if I do the dot and it's not like, it's going to mess it up, and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so the little white dot will go like there. I'm going to try and make it a little bit fatter. Like that. Okay. And this is going to go on the same side and about the same size. Like that. What? That is a great idea. So Kathy says if you wanted to, you could put a lighter green outline on top of the leaf, like it's the sun shining on it. I agree. I think that would look really cute too. It's a great idea. Okay, so now I want to put in these little dots that feel like there's like little beads hanging off of this painting. My black is very low, but maybe I'll use my dark. I have a lot of dark green still. I might use some of that. Oh no, I think I have a lot of black. We'll see. Okay. One moment. I'm just trying to get a color that I want to use. I don't really want to add more paint to my canvas at the moment since I'm almost done. So I'm just going to try to mix a dark color that I can go with here. Do those little dots on the side here. So I would say if you want to use black, that would make the most sense. But I'm just going to get like a dark color going. Okay. So the dots are thicker and then they get smaller. So go like boom, boom, boom. Nope, a little bit bigger than that. Boom, whoosh. Definitely not dotty enough. Boom, dot. I think that will be where that one lands. And then we'll have another one here. Bigger, bigger, a bit smaller, smaller, smaller. And this one will be here. Okay. That is a good idea too, Jenna. And I feel like my line is not super straight. So there's some wind blowing my little dotty things around. Not so good.
think all of them kind of make sense where they go. I think that one, you'll see a bit of a dot there and a dot there maybe. But all the rest of them I think work. Maybe not a dot there, I suppose. Alright, so I got some hangy dotty things happening. Okay. So I feel pretty good with this. I think I'm going to call this one a wrap. Just going to sign my initials here. And a little bit more paint on there because the brush likes to run out of paint. There we go. Awesome. Perfecto. Alright, so that paintbrush definitely needs to be cleaned nicely. Awesome. So there we go. And that is, ooh, what just happened? No, I don't want to. There we go. Like it thought I wanted to end the video yet, and I said not yet. Okay, there we go. So I think that is my completed painting for tonight's painting session. So I hope you had a great time. I do think using the end of the paintbrush would probably be better to get a nice like circle, because I definitely don't have perfect circles. I'm kind of okay with that. I like it to be a little bit like not perfect. It does bother me that mine's not like super straight, so I think I should have put more of like a ruler or something to give me a better guide. But it's windy. It's windy in my picture. So there is the final one. And it's also not properly centered. So I think what I'll probably do, because this does come to the edge here really well, so I think if I was going to play a little bit more with this, I might add even maybe like a little bit more branches or maybe like another flower or something, just to give it a bit more weight on this side, because there's definitely a bit more of a gap here. Yeah, so I feel like if I could, I would like move the image over. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. Or maybe, yeah, but again, maybe we could correct that by adding a few more little like things on the side. I feel like though that might change up the composition a bit too much and that won't look good, but I don't know, just an idea. So yeah, so I hope you all had a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Again, on Saturday, there'll be 3 more options for you to vote on. And the one with the most votes by the following Tuesday at noon will be the one declared the winner, and we'll paint that one live again next Wednesday evening. All the videos are available on my Facebook page, Liza's Painting Parties, and on the YouTube, on the YouTube channel, Liza's Painting Parties, and on the Facebook page under the videos tab. All the videos are there. And that is it for tonight. So have a fantastic rest of your week. If you are interested in doing your own private party and you'd like me to host it, please reach out. I have a lot of free time for the next little bit, so please let me know, because I'd love to host a party with you. And you can choose the painting that we do. I can send you some options, or if you have some, we can go that route as well. And that is about it. So have a fantastic night, great week. Take care. Have fun. Bye.